and welcome back to Down the Track. With the IPL approaching, we decided that we're going to do daily fantasy picks episode. There's plenty of fantasy websites out there. We'll be playing with on the official IPL website. They have a fantasy section over there, and they've added some new features. There's some new chips that you can use. For example, there's the triple captain. You can use that once where your player, whoever you captain, he gets 3 times the points. Then there's the double up where the total points that you get that day, it gets doubled. And then you have the super transfer where you can change your whole team without any cost. And basically you retain that team going forward in the season. So those are 3 chips. They're pretty exciting. There's 120 transfers in total. So use your transfers wisely. Don't finish them off or don't be too conservative. And it'll be a lot of fun. Join us as well for the show, and we'll try to give you picks. We decided that we'll give you 6 picks for every game. Let's start off like this for the first game, at least the Mumbai versus Bangalore game, where we'll be picking 6 players. The formation will be 2 batsmen, 2 bowlers, a keeper, and an all-rounder. And you can DM us with your questions. You can comment with your questions as well. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun with the IPL back. So let's get started. Mumbai Indians defending champions playing the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Rohit Sharma versus Virat Kohli. It's going to be an intense game. Really looking forward to it. So I decided, my batsmen, I'm not going to go with both Kohli and Rohit. I think that will be a bit expensive, because if you look on the official IPL website, they're 12 crore each. So if I have both of them, then I'll have to kind of compromise on my bowling and all-rounders, which I really don't want to do. So I'm going to go with one of them. I'm going to go with Virat Kohli as my first pick. Nothing against Rohit. He's an excellent player, outstanding player. The only thing is Virat Kohli, they'll both be opening. So Virat Kohli, they'll both be there from ball 1 on the pitch, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And the thing is with Kohli, I think he likes to anchor. He's the mainstay in that RCB lineup. Him and AB de Villiers, now they have Maxwell, but they rely a lot on Virat Kohli. So I think he's going to try to bat till the end. Whereas Rohit Sharma, I think he's going to go aggressive. And if it clicks, he can score hundreds as well. There's no doubt about that. But I think because the fact that he has the likes of Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya, Kieran Pollard, and Surya Kumar Yadav, behind him waiting in the wings, and he's going to be partnered with Quinton de Kock as well. So I think because he has so much firepower, I think he'll be a bit more, I wouldn't say carefree, but he'd take more risks, I think. And those risks he might get out. And tomorrow, I just feel that, Virat Kohli, I think he will anchor the innings. He'll try to stay there till the end. And listen, that Mumbai Indians attack is really difficult, but I think Virat Kohli is a class batsman, and he will try to counter that. You can go either one. I'm just going to go with Virat Kohli. I think that's the pick, the first pick. First batsman. The second batsman I'm going with is Surya Kumar Yadav. I think he's a good price as well, around 9.5 crores. So I think that is pretty affordable. He's an excellent batsman. He loves batting against RCB. You saw last year when he was going like this. Brilliant innings he played against RCB. And I think, he wants to start the season really well. The main thing about him, he has a shot for each position in the field. He can, if they move the field, he can hit over extra cover, he can hit over fine leg, he plays the short ball really well, he plays spin well as well. I think his own downfall will be him if he plays a loose shot, but coming one down, I think he's going to be integral in this Mumbai Indians lineup. I think he fancies that RCB lineup as well. Apart from Chahal, I don't think that many people bothered him in the past. So I think I would go Surya Kumar Yadav as my second choice as batsman for this fantasy league, for this game. That wraps up the 2 batsmen. I'm going to go now 2 bowlers. Jasprit Bumrah, I can't ignore him. 11 crores is he's expensive, but that's why I went with only Kohli and not Kohli and Rohit. Bumrah 11 crores, but he will get you wickets. So whether it's in the death or the new ball, I think he will get you wickets. He had a fantastic season last year, second highest leading wicket taker, almost got the purple cap. But this time around, I think he'll come back all guns firing as well. He's married now. Yeah, he's married. So he got a good break, and I'm sure he's in a happy place in his life right now. So no pressure. I think he will perform well. It'll be interesting to see, whether how him and Bolt perform in Indian conditions. I mean, Bumrah has been proven everywhere, but how Bolt partners him in Indian conditions. But I think Bumrah, without a doubt, for me, is a good bowler pick, and he will get you the wickets, and that's points. The next player, the second bowler I'm going to pick is Yuzvendra Chahal, leg spinner. I think these wickets will suit him in Chennai. They will be spin on offer. There was the option of Rahul Chahar, but I'm just going with Chahal because he has more experience. He's played more for India. He's played a lot for RCB as well. He got dropped there for Chahar as well. So in the Indian squad for one of the games against England. So he'll want to prove a point there is Chahal. So Chennai is conducive to spin. I think he can get some wickets in the deep as well. Wickets are key, and if you get wickets, you get points in fantasy. So I think Chahal will be a really good pick. Watch out for him. So that's my 2 batsmen and 2 bowlers. Wicket keeper. The options I have is A.V. de Villiers, and I have Ishan Kishan. Quinton de Kock, I think, is not gonna play the first game because of the quarantine rules. Okay, so this is going to be a bit controversial, but I'm going to go with Ishan Kishan. Nothing against ABD. I think he's a sensational player, Mr. 360, but I think, he's a bit rusty coming into this tournament. He might prove me wrong, and, fair enough, but I just feel that Ishan Kishan has played the cricket recently. He's in brilliant form. I think that confidence that he's got from that England series, playing for India, debuting for India, I think it's done a world of good for him. So just on that basis, I'm going to go with Ishan Kishan. I think he'll open the batting as well with Quinton de Kock not playing the first game. So let's see how that goes. So yeah, I know a lot of people will go AB. I just feel Ishan Kishan just because he's played recent cricket, but we'll get a good indicator after tomorrow's game. It's the first game, right? So we don't know exactly how each player is going to perform, what kind of form they're in, how are they going to adapt to these pitches. We'll find out more as maybe after the first week of the tournament. So yeah, I'm going as Ishan Kishan as my wicket keeper, and then my all-rounder. That's my last pick. So there's plenty of options. There's Kiran Pollard, there's Hardik Pandya, there is Krunal Pandya, there is Glenn Maxwell. So I'm going Glenn Maxwell, making his debut for RCB. The reason I'm going there, I think he can bowl in the power play as well if needed. So he can get you wickets, so 1 or 2 wickets. And then batting, I think a lot will depend on him. I've seen him, recently in Australia. He was in tremendous form. I know last season he had a horrible IPL, so it is a risk. Pollard, the reason why I'm going is I think Maxwell might bat higher, but if you go Pollard and Hardik Pandya, I can't blame you. Those are great picks as well. But I just feel, again, Maxwell, ABD, and Kohli, a lot is relied on these batsmen, whereas Mumbai have more firepower. So I think if RCB do put on a big score, these guys will be doing the bulk of the scoring, and that gets you points. So I'm going with Maxwell. I know it's a lot of pressure to put him in your team, especially considering the fact that he's had poor IPL seasons back to back. So yeah, it's kind of a risk. I think if you go with Pollard or the Pandya brothers, that's also completely fine as your all-rounder pick, but I'm just going with Glenn Maxwell. Like to take risks. Let's see how that pays off. But yeah, I think that wraps up the episode. Tune in to the IPL, tune into the podcast as well. We'll try to do this daily, try to give you the best advice as possible, do some research as well, get you some stats. But thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you meet the deadline for the fantasy before the match starts, and yeah, take care, enjoy, and let's have some fun. Take care.